Yes, we're still on site index models. One of the advantages of the dominant height method is that it can be used to calculate the site index for stands of varying ages and conditions. However, it's important to note that this method relies on the assumption that the dominant trees are representative of the stand as a whole. Sometimes this isn't the case, which can lead to inaccurate results. Do you want to hear about other methods for developing site index models? Sure thing. Another common method is the mean top height method, which works in a similar way to the dominant height method. But instead of measuring the height of the tallest trees, foresters measure the average height of the tallest third of the trees in a stand. This method is thought to be more representative of the whole stand, and it can also be used for stands of different ages and conditions. Want to hear about another method? Okay, let's talk about the age height method. This method involves measuring the age and height of trees in a stand and using this information to generate a scatter plot. The scatter plot is then analyzed to determine the relationship between age and height, and the site index is calculated from this relationship. Are you enjoying learning about all of these methods? Of course, I'll start with the ADA model. As I mentioned before, the ADA model is a relatively simple model that uses a single equation to describe tree growth over time. This equation is based on the assumption that tree growth is exponential, so as trees get older, they grow at a faster and faster rate. The ADA model can be used to predict the growth of both individual trees and stands, and it's very easy to use. Does that make sense? Now let's talk about the GATA model. So the GATA model is a more complex version of the ADA model. The main difference is that the GATA model uses multiple equations to describe tree growth over time. These equations take into account the effects of things like competition, light availability, and resource limitations. The GATA model is more accurate than the ADA model, but it's also more difficult to use and takes more data to develop. Does that help you understand the difference between the two models? Awesome! I'm glad to hear that you're getting it. There's one more thing I want to mention about site index models in general. They're just one of many tools that foresters use to understand and manage forests. Other methods like stand density index, stocking guides, and harvesting models are also commonly used. Together, all of these tools help foresters make informed decisions about how to best manage forests. Does that give you a more complete picture of forest management? That's fantastic! It sounds like you've got a solid understanding of site index models and how they fit into the bigger picture of forest management. I'm impressed with how much you've learned so far. Do you have any other questions, or are you ready to move on to a new topic?